Board of Supervisors to order. May I have a roll call, please?
Supervisor Giammi.
Here.
Supervisor White. Here. Supervisor Jones. Here. Supervisor Schutte.
Here.
Mayor Bagwell.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you so much. We're now going to move on to agenda item number 3. We'll have our invocation. I think Brady's here. Come, thank you, from the bridge.
Let's bow our heads in prayer. Father, we thank you so much that we're here today. God, I pray that you can bless our leaders, Lord, as they make the processes and procedures for our city safe and well, Lord. God, I pray that you can give them wisdom and understanding to lead our people well. God, we thank you that we have this time and this opportunity. God, I pray that you bless every single person in this room to be able to give input and further our community, Father. God, we thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Please tell your parents hello for me.
Of course.
Okay, will everyone join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. Okay, we're now on to agenda item number 5, which is public comment period. Just as a note to everyone, I have updated the sign-in forms and everything. I indicated that once the governor lifted the mask requirements and stuff, we could go back to public comment at the agenda items. So the new forms indicate you can request to speak at an agenda item. Just wanted to put that on the record. Don't know how long it'll last, but we took all the stuff down. This is looking good, so we'll give that a try. Do I have any signups? Anybody? See, we get this done and then there is no one, but that's okay. We're giving it a try. Okay, then we're gonna, also just for the public that might be listening, we will not be addressing item 11C today that is on consent. The Far West contract needs a little bit of additional work on that contract, so we're gonna not address that today. We're now gonna move, Miguel wanted public comment. Okay, come on up.
Thank you, Mayor Bagwell and members of the Board of Supervisors. My name is Miguel Camacho. I'm the Chief Deputy Clerk for the Elections Division here in Carson City, Nevada. I'm speaking on behalf of the Clerk Recorder's Office, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about candidate filing coming up in the month of March for the 2022 primary election. Candidate filing for offices up for election in Carson City will begin on March 7th and run through March 18th, and will be conducted at the Clerk's office from Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., excluding any legal holidays. Potential candidates should expect the process to take about 20 to 30 minutes, and you are required to bring photo ID and proof of residency if your driver's license doesn't have a Carson City address on there. All filing fees must be paid using cash, certified check, or cashier's check, and personal checks will not be accepted. The clerk's website has more information on what fees are associated for each office up for election, and our office should have the candidate filing packets up on the website by the end of the week. If anyone has any questions regarding the process or wants any additional information on candidate filing, I would ask that they just contact the clerk's office, fax, mail, email, or just by stopping by. Thank you for your time and have a good rest of your meeting.
Thank you, Miguel. We really appreciate that. Okay, I don't see any other public comments, so we're going to move on to agenda item number 6, which is approval of our minutes of January 20th. Anybody have any corrections? If not, I'll accept a motion.
I move to approve the Carson City Board of Supervisors meeting minutes for the meeting of January 20, 2022 as presented.
I have a motion and a second for approval of the January 2022. It's a mouthful. Minutes. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Motion carried unanimously. Thank you. We're going to move on to our presentation time, which is our length of service certificates, one of our favorite things to do. Do I have a microphone? I better do that first. I don't see a sea of orange today. It's a sea of green. No, lots of times it's Public Works. Okay, this is exciting. Oh, but we are going to start with someone with the Public Works Department after all. How about Alan Annette with our landfill foreman? 20 years? Wow, 20 years. You know, we have a saying up here, though, that you can't get your certificate till you agree to some more years.
I don't know if I can agree to that. I'll give it my best.
I'm going to, thank you so much for all you do. We really appreciate it. Okay. Nope. No, you kind of have to be in the group photo and, those kind of things. You might get a newsletter. All those kind of things happen. Okay, how about Sergeant John Hitch? 15 years. Wow, thank you so much. It's so appreciative. 15 more.
You got a few left.
You guys, I'm working hard. I need some help here. Lots of years. We like to keep our good people. Casey, I can't believe this. 5 years? I was here. Well, I cannot believe that. 20 more. Yeah. All right, you guys, another clap for that. 25. Thank you so much for your good work. Thank you. And then it is Joshua Valdez. Did I get it right? Valdez? 5 years? Oh, he caught on, you guys. 15 more. Thank you so much. Look at this group, right? We got a lot to celebrate today, our great employees. Thank you all very much. You guys want to come in a picture? We do have to memorialize our good staff. And is there anybody else, family or anyone else? The sheriff, anyone want to come in the picture? Anybody? Don't break the camera. Well, he's got, don't put the coffee down. It wouldn't be the sheriff. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to our consent agenda. Again, just for the audience that may be listening, we are not going to do item 11C, and item 14A will be pulled for discussion. Does anybody else want anything pulled to discuss? Okay, with that, I'll accept a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda consisting of item 8A, 8B, 9A, 10A, 11A, 11B, 12A with resolution number 2021-R-6, 12B, and 13A.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any
Aye.
opposed, say no. Motion carried unanimously. Thank you so much. We're going to now move to agenda item 15 and discuss item 14A. I just pulled this one because of some of the legal ways you do a resolution when you have rentals and contracts between two public agencies. So just again on the record, is there any public comment? Just to double check. Okay, seeing none, I'll accept a motion, please.
I move to adopt resolution number 2022-R-7.
I have a motion and a second for approval. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Motion carried unanimously. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, I think I realized that on 12A, I said 2021 instead of 2022.
2022. Let the
So-
record reflect their 2022 resolutions. Thank you. Good catch. We're now going to move on to agenda item 16A, which I see the illustrious Mr. Drews, for our Historic Resources Commission's annual report, and that is for 2021. Come on up. Good morning.
Morning, Board.
Good morning.
I'm here to present the 2021 annual report for the Historic Resources Commission. As you all know, the commission was started as the Historic Architectural Review Committee in 1981. I've only been on it since 1989, so I'm kind of a newcomer.
So do I have another 16 out of you? You
Yeah,
heard the
what the heck,
conversation
yeah.
earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. In 2021, we held 7 meetings, reviewed 45 applications, 24 of which were administratively approved. Those are applications like new roofs, fences that meet our standards, and we've tried to streamline the process for people with those kind of applications. It's up from 39 applications last year, so we saw a little bit more work. We've had 5 requests for open space deferments. That's a tax deferment for people who keep their properties up in the district. And we've had 6 Section 106 reviews. Section 106 is associated with any federal monies that are used in the district. SHPO lets certified local governments review those and give their input. None of our decisions were appealed to the board this year. Each year we recognize our significant preservation accomplishments in the district and in the community. This year we awarded our Historic Preservation Award to Carson City Culture and Tourism Authority, along with Prison Industries and Carson City Public Works for the Blue Line Trail monuments. We did our annual scavenger hunt in the district. We plan to do that again this year as part of Historic Preservation Month. Fox Brew Pub graciously provided a lunch to the winner of that. We're working on getting funding for the 2022 Preservation Conference through SHPO to send some of our board members to that. Upcoming work programs, we've pretty much resolved our fence issues, issues with vinyl fences, and haven't had too many problems since then. We're looking at a couple new things this year. Xeric landscaping has come up in the district, and we're trying to work through ways that we could make that compatible with kind of the historic character. There's lots of grass, lots of greenery in the district, and it's going to be an interesting balance to see how we can integrate Xeric landscaping in. The other thing that you may have all heard about too, I've been approached a number of times, property maintenance in the district is becoming a little bit of an issue. There's some properties that are a little bit neglected. Be great to find, I'd love to find a funding source that we could help. I mean, if it's an economic issue, it'd be great to have a funding source where we could help someone get their property painted or do something like that, like the downtown redevelopment district. There's some incentive so that people can do that. It's something that we're looking at. It's something that we'll keep our eye on. And we've tried to work with some property owners. We're getting a little bit of pushback, but hopefully we can get that resolved in the next year or two. Any questions?
Does any member have any question? Supervisor Schutte?
I'm curious about the pushback. So what do they say regarding the property maintenance?
People come back with, the biggest one we've heard is the cost and dissatisfaction with the contractor that's working on it. We're working on something else and things like that. There's people that just, I guess they don't see the need to keep their property up. Okay. We have a demolition by neglect ordinance, but that usually pertains to lack of maintenance that's actually going to destroy the building. So we can't push that way. We just have to hope for cooperation and that people realize that they need to keep their lawns watered and things looking good, even if, I mean, there's construction projects that are delayed for different reasons.
Right.
And people just stop doing things. And it's just trying to convince them that it's a community asset. You need to really work with those.
Okay, thank you.
Supervisor Giomi?
Mike, thanks for the presentation. Do you have a sense of a percentage of properties in the historic district that are like that? I mean, could you just guesstimate?
It's probably less than 2%. I
Okay.
mean, there's almost 200 properties
Yeah.
in the district. So, I mean, and it's just.
So there's just a few, real handful.
They're big properties. When you walk the district, they pop
Yeah.
just because.
Yeah,
of
their
lack of
of their
maintenance.
neglect, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your informative report. I do need a motion to accept the report.
I move to accept the annual report.
I have a motion and a second to accept the annual report. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Motion carried unanimously. Again, thank you and your whole team for
Thank you
your
guys
efforts.
for all your support.
Yeah, it's important. Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on then to agenda item number 17A. This is discussion and possible action regarding the determination for an appropriate bargaining unit for 6 at-will grant-funded employees occupying the positions of senior wildland fire crew member, wildland fire equipment operator, and wildland fuels management officer. Adam is here. If any members have any questions or discussion on this. Anybody? Supervisor Giomi?
Adam, I noticed that one of the positions is a wildland fuels management officer, and it's exempt. So how would an exempt position, who obviously supervises the other 5 positions, be able to join the same bargaining unit?
Sure. So I guess that the answer is to be able to be in the same bargaining unit, there's like a group of characteristics. And for that particular position, if you look at an org chart for the fire department, that position's operating under a BC. It's operating under the fire marshal. And so it's, you know.
So should it be an exempt position at all?
So I don't know exactly. I didn't look into the FLSA issue.
Okay. It just seems odd to me that we would consider putting an exempt position into the bargaining unit. It's just a comment.
Okay.
So I guess I can go ahead and start. I think when we considered the wildland positions on a grant, we worked hard to bring that funding source to fruition and to be able to help protect the community, to work with the grantees to really to make it safe and to clear brush and things of that nature. But these really are at-will grant-funded positions. When the grant money goes away, so does the positions. And I think that's been a pretty clear statement that we've all made. And I think all of those employees are quite aware of that too. We've been very upfront about all of that. And so I'm comfortable, you know, they're entitled legally. That's the way it goes. But I think they should be their own unit so that we can deal with the grant conditions that are specific to grant positions, similar to what we did with CCEA. But again, I'm open to, so I think we should recognize them as their own unit. Supervisor, I see 1, 2, 3 hands. I'll go in order. Supervisor Giomi?
All right, so, wow, that's kind of loud. I think, I agree with you. The positions are obviously needed. I think they're beneficial to the community, and I think as long as they're grant funded, we should continue them. I would struggle to take general fund money for these positions when, I'd rather actually take that general fund money and put it towards staffing of our new fire station. But as long as they're grant funded, I think we should absolutely continue, and I'm sure they're a benefit to the department. I know they're a benefit to the department and ultimately a benefit to the community. And I agree with you. I think because of the unique nature of the fact that they're grant funded and the function that they carry out, that a separate bargaining unit, despite the extra work it means for our HR department and DA's office, I think it's the best path.
Supervisor Jones?
Well, I agree. It should be a separate bargaining unit. You know, and we don't know how long this is going to be funded, so I would prefer we do it that way.
That makes the other two irrelevant comments. However, first three get it done, right? Supervisor White, did you want to comment?
I am never irrelevant.
Oh, there you go.
I'm a little concerned with the comments in this agenda item about an ask for a status quo letter. Wouldn't that necessarily open negotiations by doing that? You're saying we agree to certain items well before any negotiation period has been opened.
Yeah, I think that's why we're not going that direction. I think we agree with you, right?
Right.
Are you saying wait until the next negotiation period?
And I'm saying we don't have anything to say until it's
Right.
time to negotiate.
Right.
Thank you. Okay. Did you want to comment at all?
I agree with everyone.
Okay. So with that, I'll accept wait a minute, excuse me. I don't see any public comment. There was none requested. I got to get used to something new here. But is there any public comment? Okay, seeing none, I'll accept the motion. Supervisor Giomi?
I move to determine that the appropriate bargaining unit for 6 at-will grant-funded employees occupying the positions noted should be placed into a separate bargaining unit and direct staff to enter negotiations.
I
I have a motion and a second to create the new bargaining unit for the wildland positions.
If I could just
Sure.
make.
Do you need more
one-
clarification?
One suggestion. I don't think we should direct staff to enter negotiations because it's really the union that starts
Right.
that. So if the union
Just recognize
directs
the
us,
unit.
demands that we go into negotiations, then we go, but we can't.
Okay,
Demanded.
I'll
Sorry.
modify mine. That's okay. Good point. I thought they had kind of already done that, but so I'll amend my motion to say that the board would recognize these wildland fire positions as listed in a separate bargaining unit should the employees or another recognized bargaining unit request that negotiations begin. Is that sufficient to
Yes, thank
provide
you.
direction?
Yes.
Thank you.
And the second stands. Okay, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Okay, the motion passed unanimously. Thank you. Thank you for your work on that, Adam. Really appreciate it. Okay, we're now on to agenda item number 18, which is our non-action items. We'll start with the city manager. Do you have anything to report?
Nothing for today.
Okay, thank you. I do want two things to report. I'm super excited that our Carson Ridge Disc Golf just got ranked #1 in Nevada. Perfect. Pretty good by the Professional Disc Golf Association. That's pretty good. Let's have a tournament and see if we can get nationally ranked in the top. We'll probably be having a tournament sometime in this next year, so that will be wonderful. And then also I want to thank, both of those really deal with the Foundation for Carson City Parks and Recreation. I just want to indicate we're also doing a project jointly, Beautify Solomon Pathway. That will be Saturday, March 19th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. We're going to do some cleaning on the pathways, and then we're going to be installing benches and things. That's done with, the foundation. And so it's a neat project if anyone wants to do that. And for anyone listening, I've been getting emails and things saying we need some more cleanups around the community. Just as a reminder, each of you as board members have the ability to request a beautification area with Waste Management by rule in the contract bringing us a dumpster for that. So I just want to remind all of you, if you want to put together a project in your ward or something of that nature, don't forget to help. I don't know, spring cleaning is a coming, so, but the first one we can try is on Saturday, March 19th. Supervisor Giomi, you have something to
Thank you.
report?
Yeah, Mayor. 2 meetings this week that I attended: Carson Water Subconservancy and Convention and Tourism Authority. Carson Water Subconservancy, not a lot to report that's directly germane to Carson, except that the general manager pointed out that there are funds available, federal funds available, funneled through the state from the Clean Drinking Water Act. There are some strings attached. The money is considered a loan, but then there is language that references that the loan may be forgiven at some point in the future. In any case, I just pointed that out to our Public Works Director to let him know to investigate a little more, particularly as it pertains to some of the projects that I know they have on tap. A lot of exciting things from Convention and Tourism. A new event that you are working on, among others, is coming up in April, a year from now, April 2023. And it's Mark Twain Days, a new annual festival that we're trying to kick off here in Carson, celebrating the life and adventures of Mark Twain in Carson. As Mark Twain said, never let the truth get in the way of a good story. So that, if you're interested in that, it's, well, you want to talk a little bit about, I mean, I think it's really in the beginning stages. So, but a downtown location, I think, is what we're talking about potentially.
We're really looking to create a newspaper that has Mark Twain's wittyisms all over the paper. So we have a little sample that we'll be looking at tomorrow. And then our Christmas ornament, will start off with the Orrin Clemens home, also the home of where Mark Twain became known, right here in Carson. So we're doing Mark Twain in the rocking chair with his pipe. So we're certainly trying to really bring a 3-day event together to celebrate the history of Carson City, because I think the Visitors Bureau and then the cultural, all of us together thought we don't celebrate enough of our history, and so we selected Mark Twain for the event, and it should be a really good time. And the date, the reason it's picked is that's when he passed away. So that was the significance of the date. It's in April.
21 to 23.
Yeah, so April
2023.
21st is when he passed away, so that's the significance.
Sort of in line with that, it's kind of a segue, that there's some state money coming to some cleanup and mitigation at Mercury Cleaners. And so I guess that's going to be underway sometime here in the not too distant future. And there's going to be some signage or some fencing going up for an extended period of time. And one of the things all the things I'm talking about, by the way, are Deborah Soul, who's the new arts and cultural manager at CTA, and she's a firestorm of activity. But one of her ideas is to, instead of just having the fences up in that downtown area, is to put some art panels up to sort of break that chain link temporary fencing, and then later take those art panels and move them within the downtown district to create sort of an art walk. So tying it in again to the history. So she's on top of that. Reno Tahoe Airport Gallery in November this year through January, will have a display from the Stewart Indian School Museum. We remember your sacrifices, you're not forgotten, the story of art of the Stewart Indian School. So that's coming up. And finally, the thing that I think I'm most excited about, that her idea is, and is just in the beginning stages of this, it's called Art on the Trails, or Environmental Art. And essentially, it ties our great outdoor trail system to taking what's already existing in nature and turning it into art. So as an example, I just use this as a loose example, Long Range Park and the V&T Trail behind the college. During early COVID days, there was a group of young kids who weren't in school or were homeschooling. They were taking rocks and painting inspirational messages on the rocks and leaving them along the walkway for people to just read as they walked. But this environmental art is literally taking things like rocks that may exist along the Carson River and turning them into a pattern for people to look at. And then at some point, nature reclaims that when the water rises or the wind blows or whatever the case may be. But it's something that she heard about from some of the maritime province in Canada. And so I'm super excited about that because it really, in my opinion, is a natural tie into Carson and all of our great trails that we have. So that's what's happening from CTA.
Anybody else have anything to report? Supervisor Shooty?
That is a wonderful segue. So speaking of trails, so on February 26th, the Parks and Rec is teaming with Nevada Humane Society, and they're having the Tails and Trails dog adoption event at Riverview Park. And so adopt a furry friend, learn about dogs and the outdoors, and explore Riverview Park. So I think that's going to be just a really fun event. And Tyler Curver created an amazing flyer that he has put into Carson now and the appeal. So that's exciting. And then on the 15th, and I'm just bringing back that flyer, on Tuesday, there was a group of folks who met at the Ponderosa Room to discuss lifeguarding. There is such a need for lifeguards. And so there was a flyer posted, "Baby boomers, we need you." There was an informal gathering. There's just a need for, quite a few different positions that there are openings for that really make our community even better. And lifeguarding is one of those. And so if you enjoy swimming and you enjoy the pool and you have some time, the schedule is very flexible. There's training and classes available, and so I would just ask you to go to carson.org, and there's jobs, and then there's information about what's required, and it's user friendly. You are wanted. So just wanted to say that.
Yesterday I had a meeting and it was funny that I didn't realize our high school has that as one of their certification programs because it's a great summer job for your juniors and seniors to be able to become lifeguards, and they actually will certify you. So it was interesting to know that they have like 16 different certification programs, and I was surprised to learn that lifeguard was one of them. So
Yes, it's wonderful.
like you said, it's a great student job.
Great
out
student
there.
job
There you
and
go.
great community job.
Thank you. Supervisor Jones, you have some stuff to share?
We had our airport board meeting last night, and it was just the usual business, but one thing we did approve is a new sign for the airport. It's going to be kind of similar to what our gateway signs are welcoming us, but it's going to be a nice, attractive sign, and I think it'll be solar lit, so that's a plus for that area. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I don't see anything else. We do not have a closed session today. We're going to move on to final public comment. Like I said, we've changed all the rules and there is no one, but I will ask for the record. Okay, seeing none, if no one's objecting, we're adjourned. Good meeting and thank everyone. 34.